in mid-2015, the game was very sparse in terms of what was available for us to travel to and dock at. So this has all changed rather significantly over the past few years, with a huge variety in stations. Right here is the asteroid base. These were in their very early concept art for the game back during the Kickstarter period, I believe, and whilst many people hoped there would be hidden pirate bases and things like that, nonetheless it's very nice to have them, and they do look quite different depending on where you actually go. Megaships brought with them a further variety in dockable platforms. Some of them of course are not dockable, many however actually are. Megaships then come in a huge variety of shapes and sizes, from the asteroid one you saw just now, right through to research, scientific, tourist, prisoner, transport and many others. Again, going back to early concept art for Elite Dangerous, they often showed dry docks outside stations with docked capital ships. Now these were absent from the game for a very long time, but they are now very much in the game, and it's not uncommon to come across scenes like this one. Now earlier on I mentioned the lack of variety in station interior variations, at least back during the early stages of the game. Back during early 2015 and the late 2014 of the game's release, all station interiors looked the same. But that's no longer the case. You now have industrial, high-tech, agricultural as well as tourist varieties. Now of course people could quite rightly point out that all of this is pretty much superficial changes to the game, but nonetheless they do add immensely to the game's atmosphere. And more recently, changes to stations have indeed brought new gameplay with them. The attacked stations, these ones destroyed by Thargoids out in the Pleiades cluster, brought with them the need to rescue passengers or trapped people within inside of them. Stations under repair meanwhile need commodities delivered before they can be brought back to a good status. There's also the megaship related gameplay arriving with Chapter 1 of Beyond, and of course we shouldn't forget the planetary bases that came with the initial release of Horizons. So then, development on stations along with other large space structures has certainly taken massive leaps forward over the past few years. There's still a lot more that can be done though, but with recent changes also focusing on gameplay, it's all starting to look rather good. Ever since their initial concept release, the Orrery maps has been something I've been very excited for to see within Elite Dangerous. Here we are many years later, and unfortunately they're still not in the game. And unfortunately, based on recent statements from Frontier, it seems they may never actually even be in the game. It's a disappointment in many ways. Not only were these an alternative way to visually represent what's going on within the game and within each system, they also represented the potential for huge gameplay opportunities. But gameplay associated to maps is something I've talked about in previous videos, so I won't go into it again here. All that said, there have been a lot of improvements to the maps within Elite, and whilst they certainly are not quite on the visual splendour of an Orrery map, they do bring with them an entire wealth of information, and they're certainly very much becoming a part of the gameplay. The new filters for commodities coming in Chapter 1 of Beyond are a great example of this.